welcome to the Press Start Podcast. I'm Keith. I'm joined by Naj, Curtis, Colton. How you guys doing today?
Hungry. Again.
I'm doing all right.
So today we're going to be talking about the so-called declining quality of video games and whether or not that's a legitimate concern or if that's just nostalgia speaking. So basically what I mean by that is video games are at the highest point that they've ever been. The budgets are the highest they've ever been, and they're being made more efficiently than ever. Because of this, do you guys think that the finished products are actually suffering? Or do you think that we're just kind of looking back and saying, well, our video games back then were a lot better? Naj, you want to start with you?
No, Kurt, you go ahead.
Yeah, because we've talked about this a lot. I think that pushing stuff out, like, it's so much and so fast, and I think from a technical standpoint, you can definitely see that. I mean, day one patches and the bugs.
Dude, Tony Hawk's patch was bigger than the game
than
itself.
the game itself. Yeah, that's what I was gonna bring up. Like, and that's one aspect of it. Like, I mean, it works both ways because when you got a broken game in the past,
you were stuck.
The game was just crap, and that was it. That was the game. So it's nice that we can fix some things, but
I think that kind of leads to making developers lazy because, they're saying,
exactly.
like, oh, if we release this like on a disc, then, if it comes out and it's broken, then we're fucked and there's nothing that we can do to fix it. But if it comes out and, we can basically just say, oh, this is broken.
Patch on the fly.
Yep, we'll just patch it in later. So this way it's kind of acceptable to release broken games because, like, fuck it, we'll just do it later.
People keep buying them. I mean, they're going to keep doing it like that. As simple as that. But I think it's a combination of both nostalgia and the decline in the quality. I mean, how many times have we sat here and talked to each other about how many times have you went to a vintage game store and just sit there and reminisce on how good games were back in the day,
right? And
just comparing to the games that we have now. Like, wrestling is like maybe the prime example. WWF No Mercy is like
still good,
probably still the gold standard in wrestling video games today, just because the fighting system was just so good. And I don't know. I just think that it gets in the way of our vision of the new wrestling games a lot, but at the same time, the wrestling games have been declining since, I don't know, Here Comes the Pain.
They've all been bad.
Yeah, they just want to take stuff out now.
Yeah.
It's like all sports games, anything like that.
Yep.
They take stuff out because they know people are still going to buy it.
Yeah, I think we lose a lot of content for the sake of graphics and presentation, which is great. People want that. People want realism with those kind of games.
And Madden 06 is like the prime example of that when they first jumped to Xbox 360 for the first time, it was, well, at the time it was beautiful. I hate the way it looks now, but at the time it was like the greatest thing we ever seen.
It was and it was funny because I didn't believe you, and then I bought it.
Yeah,
and I was like, where is everything?
There was nothing. Like, franchise mode was literally just week
Bare
1
bones.
through 16.
Bare bones.
With a draft. That's all it was. Did they have a draft? They had a draft on there, right?
Yep.
I never played through it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't muster it up.
Like, basically, that was my next point, was like, if you look at Madden is notorious for adding all this content and then taking it out the next year.
Yep.
You look at Be a Superstar mode. That doesn't exist anymore, even though that was a pretty...
Well, it
sort of does, but...
It's a shell of what
not the way it used to.
Quarterback vision passing was one of the things that...
It was so amazing.
That a lot of people loved, but they took it out. Not because of, like, skill cap or anything, because, they could have just added an option to just turn it off or turn it on.
Right.
You didn't have to use it, but for some reason they took out this feature that everybody loved. Mm-hmm. And, everyone's just like, oh, that's Madden, no big deal. Going back to WWE, you had games like SmackDown vs. Raw 07 that had those awesome
the general manager
GM mode. Yeah, GM mode.
It even had its own storyline,
which is it's 2 players also, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah, that is
my mind.
Star Wars Battlefront, the old games, you had Instant Action, Galactic Conquest, Species Hunt, and now the new one, they're just like, well, you can get Team Deathmatch, and that's a bit, it just seems like they're pulling so much content.
Yeah, I've seen the beta. I've seen the beta stuff on Battlefront, the new one coming out. It's not like the massive war it was with Battlefront and Battlefront 2.
It's gonna be Battlefield with Star Wars.
That's exactly what it is.
It looks pretty.
I mean, it's still gonna look pretty, and it's still gonna be
But is
cool.
there going to be all that content that we're used to in the older games? You know, like everything looks so much better now. Everything plays a lot smoother. But like whenever we were playing WWE, was it 2K15? I think. Mm-hmm. And I remember, you know, back in 07. every match you could think of was in there. You know, like the table
even
ice and chairs, Inferno matches, like a match that they would do one time. They'd be like,
Bury Alive.
yeah, but yep, that was on there. They'd be like, okay, let's put that in the game, and now it's like you can do like a cage match, or you can do like
A single with manager match.
Well, yeah, and I think a lot of that was because they were so focused on the presentation and the entrances and the graphics that's what I read, at least, that they were forced to kind of strip that stuff.
I think graphics and presentation drives a lot, because we live in a gaming age where realism and graphics just, you know, it dictates what we buy games. I mean, if graphics didn't matter to some people, then you wouldn't buy a new console, or you wouldn't upgrade the internals on your PC. So I think that dictates a lot, and I think sometimes graphics and presentation take the forefront of gameplay and just content itself.
Well, I think it's that and multiplayer now.
Yeah.
I think the online multiplayer is just the big. That is what everybody wants.
Remember, you could buy a game and just run through single player and just be satisfied with just single player and like replaying it again,
or even just be satisfied with split screen,
like
multiplayer.
Like, matter of fact, Q, let me ask you this question: Are you satisfied with in Metal Gear Solid 5, the Phantom Pain? Are you satisfied with the 2 locations of Afghanistan and Africa?
See, that's the thing. Like, I kind of, from a game of that magnitude, I would have hoped that there would have been more settings. I liked the settings that were in that game, but, you know, like Metal Gear Solid 3, like all the fucking places you would go, like there were indoor missions, outdoor missions, there were so many different settings.
They were actually bite-sized, though.
But in this game, you either have sand or jungle. Pick your poison. In the old games, it was, you know, you can be indoors in this large like lab facility. You could be out like in the jungle. You could go to like relatively urban areas.
But I think if we had this game when we were in middle school and maybe just started high school, this game would have been probably one of the greatest games of all time. Seriously.
And also with that game, it had the camo system. You could pick from like 25, 30 different camos.
Yeah, I'm actually
now they give you like
right
5. And they're like, if you want the extra ones, that's 99 cents a piece. You want the tuxedo from Metal Gear 3? 99 cents a piece.
We're not going to talk about DLC though, man.
Yeah, but I mean, it basically seems like a good excuse to just pull out content and say, now you can pay for it later. You know?
Yeah, and DLC used to be a thing like when they first started doing DLC, like cosmetic stuff that was just aesthetics.
Right.
Maps, costumes.
Horse armor.
Yeah, like
Oblivion.
But now it's just like, and like even going back to Metal Gear, like if they put Mission 51 back in the game, even though I'll probably be one of the super people to buy it, even though I know I shouldn't. Like it's like they sell you a half game and you know feed you the rest of the story.
Patch it in later.
Yeah, because they can patch it in later on the fly.
But it's interesting because like, do consumers care that they're pulling out all this content? Because where are people putting their time? And people don't do what we used to do when we were kids. I mean, the hours that I would put on just Madden 06 alone, I would play that game every day. I created like 30 teams, and just to make the game, you know, give it some variety.
And put it into perspective, the hours we used to put into these games without the internet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly, and I think that's the thing. Like, people don't put time in. No one really. You are hardcore now if you are replaying story modes and like multiple times. I think a lot of times people just they want to put their time in
Especially
in the multiplayer.
People don't even touch the story in Call of Duty anymore.
Nope.
Like,
Oh no, there's no reason to touch it.
I don't even know why they have
seriously,
it
like
anymore.
even when I like force myself to play through those, you know, cliche storylines in Call of Duty, like it feels like I'm forcing myself, because like that game is so multiplayer oriented. It's not even funny. Like the single player is just taking a
They
back
just
seat.
need to stop with it. It's like beating a dead dog.
But then when you stop it, you get Titanfall, and Titanfall was a great game. But now we're $60 because it literally was. It didn't have.
Titanfall tried something different. They tried doing a story mode online.
I don't think there was a story. Was there a story mode?
There was.
I heard that there was no story mode. I refuse to touch that game.
Really,
on that
there
premise.
wasn't.
I'm telling you what's going to happen. Call of Duty is going to go the route of Madden. They're going to say, we're an esport now. Call of Duty 16 coming out, Call of Duty 17. And they're just going to say, fuck the storyline because nobody plays it.
Right.
Time to just
I actually wouldn't mind if it was that way.
I wouldn't be against.
I don't think anybody would.
And embrace what you are.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Exactly.
Just quit lying to the public.
Exactly. I mean, if you're gonna come out every year, just let us know that you're a sport. I mean, because people play it for millions of dollars now, so.
Which is ridiculous.
Well, no, I don't find it to be ridiculous. I mean, if you're good at something, you should get paid for it.
I mean, yeah, I know, yeah. but it's just crazy that that's where we're at now. I couldn't have imagined that when I was a kid.
The International 5 for Dota 2 was an $18 million Dota 2 tournament.
You bullshitting.
They got the
$18
League
million.
of Legends tournament too.
Wow.
They're pulling in some serious cash with those
Yep,
MOBAs.
it was the largest video game tournament ever.
Yeah.
And they actually, the winners, it was $18 million, so you make more than like the US Open, like more than most golf and tennis tournaments. Like, just
You make a buttload of cash playing those MOBAs.
Do people watch that?
I
people
think there
absolutely
were
watch that.
Yeah, people watch that.
There were more on the finals of the international, the grand finals. There were more combined viewers through Twitch and in game than there were some of the games of the NBA finals last year.
That's ridiculous. I don't find entertainment watching somebody play Call of Duty or anything.
But this isn't
just
Call of
because
Duty.
Yeah.
This isn't Call of Duty.
MOBAs
Yeah.
are like the most competitive game that you can.
Yeah.
That you can
It's
get.
5v5.
Maybe I gotta watch you play Dota one day. But I mean, just touching on the topic again. I think it's a combination of both. I mean, yeah, we miss our old games, but at the same time, I think games, and most games, not all of them, most games get lazy with their content and just the overall finished product. I mean, a lot of people say Half-Life 2 is pretty overrated. Even though I never played it.
Half-Life 2
is
is not overrated.
Like the ground level for like most games now. Like that paved the way for
Absolutely, that
almost
paved the
all
way for a
first-person shooters.
lot of things.
Like,
There's no way you can
Counter-Strike
convince me.
wouldn't exist if it weren't
Exactly.
for Half-Life because there's a
Exactly.
Half-Life mod.
Portal
would
Portal.
not exist
Yep.
if it weren't for.
I love Portal, man.
There were so many games. So I mean, there were so many good things that came out of that era of gaming, and it just seems like now it's just a big cash grab. It just seems, and like deadlines are such, because everyone. I would say before you weren't really focused on like a game's release date as much, but now it's like if a game doesn't release on time, people get pissed and they say they pushed it back, what the hell? So now developers are getting so antsy about getting this game out on time that they're
Well,
like,
no, not
it gets rushed.
developers, publishers.
yeah,
publishers.
yeah,
Yeah,
publishers,
and
right.
that's why, like,
Yeah, it's not always the developer's
Right.
fault.
yeah. I mean, granted, the developer should catch some hell sometimes, but most of the time it's the publisher. Like, I mean, we can go back and forth with the whole Konami Kojima thing. Like,
Right.
I think if that's like Kojima's project, just through and throughout, like, I think Metal Gear Solid 5 is a different game throughout. Like, I think it's probably the biggest ambitious game we've ever had. I mean, right now, it's still my favorite game ever, but at the same time, it's like I feel as though ever. I'll sit there and say that every day of the week. Ever. Like, it's amazing. Like, it is what it is. But I think that game is just 10 times better if Konami doesn't have their hand in everything.
Well, he even said that he made some decisions in that game that could cost him his career, and he was relating that to the child soldiers. But once the game actually released, we realized that you couldn't really lay a finger on the child
Thank God.
soldiers.
Thank God. 'cause
Oh,
that
if
would
you
be,
could,
Yeah.
they would be catching hell.
I
Yeah.
think that was his original plan because he said he made some decisions relating to the child soldiers that could cost him his career. So I
Yeah.
think his original plan was to make the child soldiers like an enemy, and then maybe you.
I don't want to kill children.
Yeah, and, 'cause,
I mean-
I mean, you can kill the children, but as soon as you do, like, I mean, they even make it clear to you, like,
Yeah, they're like Snake.
like, if you kill these kids, the mission's over.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, of course, me being the gamer that I like to try things.
You gotta
know,
test
Why
it.
would you do it? I never even thought about
You
it.
gotta test
I
it.
mean, nah,
What?
I mean, they're just.
I mean, you gotta do what the
they're just
objective says, man.
They're just polygons on the screen, guys.
No, man.
I shot one of the kids in the head, and yeah, like it's game over every time. So I mean, I think like what you said is right. Like he had an ambitious plan set out, but I think they scaled back on a lot of things and ultimately cut a lot of content out. And I think that we're going to
sure as hell didn't cut the cutscenes out.
They did not.
They kept
See,
those
now,
in.
it's because of guys like you. Because of guys like you that Metal Gear is so sparse from the story right now. man.
casuals.
I don't
Casuals.
want to watch cutscenes. Dude. I don't want to play a game.
So
Fucking cutscenes.
Yeah,
I'm not watching a movie, bro.
yeah. I'm playing
Tell
the
the
game.
story through gameplay.
Yeah.
So do you guys think, in conclusion, that games are objectively worse now, or do you think that it's just us kind of sitting in our rockers
Yes
going
and no.
the good old
Yes
days?
Yes and
no.
no.
Yes
I gotta
and no.
sit on the fence with that.
They're not worse. Like I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to myself. We're in the golden age right now when it comes to video games. Like we're like
Yeah.
no matter like what we see going on. Like I mean, hindsight's 2020. So I just think that we're really subjective on a lot of stuff.
I live in the past. The nostalgia factor is huge for me, man.
Yeah, same here.
I love my old games. I still play my old games. There's something about it being a kid.
But for me, the nostalgia factor only lasts so long. Like if I go back and play No Mercy, I can only play it for maybe like a cool couple hours before like I want to play 2K16.
I can put time into it, but I think, but that's just me. I like up until this year, I've never bought new games. I like last year I think I bought one new game. That was Destiny, and that was awful.
Oh, well,
that was a terrible decision.
I'm sorry for making you buy Xbox One then.
No, I'm happy I got it. I mean, I need it, obviously, and I've liked
360's dying.
It's dead already.
Yeah, it's dead.
It's dead already.
And 10 years ago, if you bought a game, you were going to play the shit out of it because you spent $30-$40 on it. Now, my Steam library has like 700 games in it. If a game, if I start playing it and I don't like it, I'm just going to say, well, I have so many more games to play. Why should I spend my time?
Right,
Yeah, you're a Steam whore. You're a fucking Steam whore. No, I can't. I don't know. I'm not gonna get beside myself. The games that we play today are fucking awesome. They look pretty. I mean, aside from I'm not gonna say a lot of them. A lot of these developers and publishers, they put out products that aren't finished and they rely on patches. But at the end of the day, they put so much time into these games. And they're awesome. I just think that we live in the past too much.
Yep, I would agree with you. Well, guys, do we have any other comments?
Warner?
Nah, I got nothing.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to the Press Start podcast. We'll catch you next time.